I am super excited, but also super nervous about because I've never done this before. I've worked one on one with clients and just kind of help them with their whole from brand strategy, from being like, clueless about what they need to offer, or they have a business and they just feel stuck. And we just go through the whole brand strategy and identify something that they can offer their ideal clients that they can monetize. And so we go through like a framework. I use this framework called the Ikigai, and for those who know it, is where you identify what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. And most of the time, we focus on skills that you have learned, your experiences, just things that you know how to do well, that you're passionate about at the same time. Because I realized that you want to find a combination of those four circles. Again, it's what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for, or what you are currently being paid for. And so, if we find an intersection of that, and then go find your ideal customer profile, and this is somebody who has a painful need that you can solve using this, your reason for being. That's what they call it in ikigai. Yeah. And so that combined with a very painful need that you can solve becomes just a beautiful business that you can build, that you can love to. I've seen people, or I've also worked with people who have businesses that they do not love anymore. Like they are making money, but they don't love what they do, and sometimes it's just, they did something because of the money. And I don't know if you found yourself even in a career like that. I found myself in a place where I worked for 12 years. I knew that nursing was one of the most stable jobs and stable careers that I could take. And I'm so glad I did that because there's so many lessons that I pulled out of that. But I've also even realized like nothing goes to waste, because most of my clients are nurses. Most of my clients are in healthcare or in the coaching industry. And we kind of like connect, just because I come from the healthcare industry. But also I've seen how it has translated even into marketing. There's a lot of like different marketing tactics and people that apply, and there's the manipulative marketing. And I'm sure that you have either fallen prey to it or you have noticed it, and it just pushes you away and you don't even want anything to do with marketing. And so some of the things that I love to teach is empathy driven marketing, where you actually go and you sit down with in the position of your client, and you identify what is a painful need that I can solve for you. And then I give you solutions. I give you options that you can choose. I actually advise you on my packages based on where you are, based on how much you can afford. I actually customize it for you, and so that it can meet your needs. If all you can afford is being subscribing to my YouTube, I'll make sure I have some valuable things that you can actually go and apply today that are going to make you money. If you go to my YouTube channel, I think I have two videos. One that just shows you how I make money using Gumroad, which is a platform where you don't even need to pay for anything, and you can create a digital product and place it there, and then create YouTube videos and drive traffic to that platform. I actually go step by step. I think I've done two videos. One was like 24 minutes. The other one was a whole hour. I even listed a product on Amazon, KDP, and I kind of like show you. So I'm able to direct some of my customers who can't afford some of my services. You're not putting down the price of your products and your services, but you have different people who can afford different packages, and hopefully they make some money and be able to afford your higher tier products. And so I'm saying all that because I love marketing. I did not start in marketing. I do not even have a degree in marketing, but because of my love for marketing, I found myself in just opportunities that I would never have thought of. Yeah, as in if you asked me, might be like 3 years ago, that I would be hired as a lead marketer and a content creator for a 7-figure business owner, I'll be like, what are you talking about? But it's because I love it. And I was willing to do everything that I could in my power to grow in that space. Yes, I do not have a degree in marketing, but the hours that I have spent in master classes, in reading books, in listening to podcasts, in getting into people's funnels, in reading blogs, like the hours that I have spent, like I, at least every single day, I have to listen to an hour of a marketing podcast. I can't even think of a marketing video that I've not yet watched. I'm sure there are a couple that I've not watched, but I have listened to everything. And I follow some of the best marketers. I'm in their programs. I'm in their master classes. I am constantly learning and growing and evolving and testing out the different platforms. And so I'm super, super excited to work with a few group of people through my whole entire process. For the longest time, I felt like I had to box myself because in the process of my marketing journey, I learned so many things because it didn't start with marketing. I started with photography. Yes, I was a nurse, but my second job was photography. And I learned photography and I started getting good at it. At first, it was a mess. I remember that there was a time that my friend invited me to go do a wedding in Florida. And my goodness, those pictures were a mess. My goodness, and part of it was not my fault. It was because I didn't know how to advise my client. I had no clue. They chose to have their wedding at the beach on a hot, sunny day. And so all the sun particles were stuck on her makeup. And so when I was taking the pictures are clear, but her skin just, yeah. And there's no way to edit that. I tried my best. I even had to send all the raw footage to her because she was going to find somebody else to edit. But it was an impossible job. But I didn't know. But I got myself in there. I learned, I got better. I started booking weddings. COVID happens. And I was like, okay, let me start building websites. I realized that people who were taking pictures were using those pictures for a reason, especially business owners. Then I realized, there's something called brand photography where you can charge a little bit more because you're not dealing with family or friends who are just taking pictures just for, family's sake. As in, these guys are taking pictures to use for their businesses. And so it's like, okay, let me learn brand photography, When I started learning about it, I realized there's something called brand strategy that happens before brand photography. So I started learning that. I took some classes and I was like, okay, this is getting exciting, And then I was like, okay, they are creating content using this content. And I was like, okay, how do you create content? I was like, I got into videography and creating reels. And I was like, okay, these reels have to be formatted in such a way that it actually transforms somebody's, it actually moves somebody emotionally. It breaks limited beliefs inside the copy. I was like, okay, this is how scripts are written so that your videos are more captivating and they actually make somebody do something, And so I started learning the psychology of marketing, the psychology of sales. And it just got excited. I was like, okay, no, what else? It was like, okay, the things called funnels, not just websites. We have things called funnels. And now a funnel is like, I am guiding you. It's like you have if you go to the mall, that's a website because there's so many shops that you can go into, But a funnel is like somebody who meets you at the mall and they guide you specifically to a specific shop. And they're going to show you some stuff. And then they're going to open another room where they're going to take you to where designer clothes are. They're going to take you downstairs. It's very curated. And the more access you get, the more expensive it becomes. And so that's what a funnel is. It might start with a freebie and then it'll be like $27. Or before you go, you need this to make this work better. And that. So I started learning funnels up to end of last year when some of the people that I was following, I saw them pivot. And one of the reasons was they realized that a lot of people were not completing courses. A lot of people were buying courses and ebooks, and they actually never even ever read them. A lot of people were buying systems and apps and softwares, and they'll use them just a little bit, but not maximize the whole platform, or not even know how to maximize the whole platform. Not because the information is not there, but the completion rate is 10%. So 90% of the people who will buy your products, your courses, your softwares, your ebooks are not going to be able to complete and experience the transformation to be able to come back and go market for you, because the best marketer is actually your customer who has experienced transformation, and they have seen their life transformed. And so now they are a big advocate for you. There's no one who will market better than a satisfied customer. Even no ads can be able to match that. And that's why when you go to Amazon and you see a nice product that you want, the second most important things that you do, you go to the reviews. You don't even read the good reviews. You go check out the bad reviews so that you can know like what's going on with this product. And you're trying to borrow trust. And the moment you trust the reviews by looking at all the reviews, you go purchase. Without that, you're not buying that product. And so it's important to not only like make money by selling products to people, but also thinking of like, I really want this product to transform their lives. Because if it transforms their life, it makes marketing easy for me, because I'm not only the one who is marketing my product. I'm not only spending money on ads. I'm not only spending my time in creating valuable content. There are people who are freely marketing me. And if you can compensate them, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, they will be more incentivized to even market you more if they are making money on the back end. But even if they don't, their life has already been transformed. And they're no longer, actually, if you are helping them make more money, they're making more money. Why wouldn't they not refer you? If they're using your product and they love it, they'll keep using and keep buying from you, and they will tell other people, whether you pay them or compensate them or not, they are going to do that willingly because you transformed their life. And so the new funnel, there's the old funnel and the new funnel. And that is what I'll be talking about in the 6-week cohort. I'm going to actually hold your hand. And this specifically is for 9 to 5. If you're in the 9 to 5 and you're ever thought of transitioning into entrepreneurship, this will be a great beginner course, because you can start building towards the life that you want to get into. You don't want to quit your 9 to 5 and then start your business. You want to start building it, start making some money, and then transition from your 9 to 5. And so my goal is to help as many 9 to 5 who are committed. You have to be committed. You have to dedicate the next 6 weeks. Again, we'll be meeting, I think, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for just 1 hour. In 1 hour, I'm not going to just teach you. I will be building with you. I actually have a client that I'm working on, and I've put them on hold. I will start building on February 1st. I will tell you exactly what I do, and we will spend the 6 weeks in building that whole entire thing. And by the time we are done, you will have found a client, you will have serviced a client, and you will make some money. The reason why is the platform that I use has affiliate commissions. This cohort itself will have commissions. So if you decide to come to this program and you pay, and then you decide that you're going to bring your friend too, you've already made your money. So I'll be giving 30% commission rates, and I'll be sharing a lot more as we go along. But I wanted to just share, like, there's the brand strategy aspect of it. And whether you know you have a business or not, whether you're clueless and you don't know what you should be doing, we are going to work on that. I'll be giving you some tools. There'll be a lot of like homework that you'll be having to do. And that's why we're not meeting every single day. So we'll meet on a Monday, have Tuesday off. And all I am asking from you is to just commit 1 hour, just one focused hour every day, Monday through Friday. That's it. Just 1 hour. You can find 1 hour. Yeah. We'll be meeting at 12. The reason why I've picked 12, it's a good time for people who are in the UK and also people in the US, but also it's a good timing for people in Kenya because that's the majority of people that that follow me. And so 12 o'clock will be the time that we meet. So we'll meet for 1 hour. I'll be building live. I'll be telling you why I'm doing what I am doing. I'll be sharing all the tools because over the time I've created tools that make things easier. I have created digital coach of prompts that I use to just make the whole system just work smooth. We will talk about the all-in-one marketing platform. I will show you how to use it. I will also show you how you can service other business owners while we are building. Like you can start getting customers as we're building. You can start inviting people into this cohort as we're building for the next cohort. I say you can invite them before Feb 1st, but the next cohort is going to be in April 1st. So again, we do 6 weeks. We take 2 weeks break, and I'll tell you why we're doing it. We're structuring it this way. The reason why cohorts are really good is because you're able to build with your customers. You're able to help them actually move from point A to point Z, and you walk with them. And at the end of point Z, there is something that you are giving them. There's something that they get to go with. In the process, they will tell you how they want the information delivered to them. Sometimes as coaches, sometimes as instructors, sometimes as people who have specialized in a specific industry, we do not even understand. We know the content, but when we teach it, sometimes it doesn't land because we are not interacting on a consistent basis with our customer base. People who have big pages and big followers have a big advantage because they get a lot of comments, and they're able to really know what their customers are going through. But if you have a small audience, it becomes a little bit hard because you're not interacting with these customers through the whole entire journey. What you end up having after 6 weeks is a very refined program. You fully understand the pain points of your customers. You fully understand how to deliver information in such a way that they fully understand. You're able to see the cracks and the gaps that you might not be seeing as a content creator. So it is beautiful. So you take 2 weeks off. The 2 weeks are for reviews. The 2 weeks are for making your next cohort better. And guess what? Your next cohort, you add more money. Why? Because you've made it better. It's going to be way better than your first cohort. And you repeat it and you repeat it until you've refined a very good, I don't want to call it a course. It's almost like a cohort. And then if you want to now, at that point, you can turn it to an evergreen product. Why? You're getting testimonials. These testimonials are flowing into a community. So you create content. And I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me see if I think I have some slides here I'm super excited. I hope you can tell I'm super excited. And I'm only taking 20 students for now because I want to be able to, it has to be serious students. And I'll send you the link where you can be able to just join. Let me see here. All right. Okay. Yes. So as I was sharing, the old way is the funnel. So you have organic content. So you're creating content, and might be you're checking the content that is doing really well and running some ads to that content. And then you bring them into your funnel. So most of the time you're creating awareness content because there are 5 levels of awareness. So there are people who have, they are aware that they have a problem. Actually, they're not aware that they have a problem and they have no clue that there's any solution. So at this point, you're creating content to just bring an awareness that hey, you can't continue to have a broken bulb in your house. You've had this bulb broken for a very long time and it's become, you think it's normal, but it's not normal. until somebody comes and points to you and be like, hi, why have you never fixed that bulb? I'm like, oh my God, I've lived with it for a very long time that it doesn't even bother me. But every time you come at night, you have to turn off a different switch to be able to access this room because there's not enough light. Again, awareness. So you create some content about awareness, and then they become aware that they're like, oh my goodness, I have a problem. And then you come to the next layer where they now are aware that there's a problem, but they do not know that there's a solution. And so you start talking about the solutions to this problem. Okay. Over time, they'll be like, okay, I know I have a problem. I know that there's a solution, but I do not know if I should trust you to be the person to guide me and help me with this transformation. And so this is where podcasts come in. This is where YouTube comes in, because they say Google launched this thing called the 7-11-4, where they say that you need like 4 touch points. You need like 7 hours of content for somebody to trust you, to know, like, and trust you. Nobody's going to buy. Going back to the Amazon example that I gave you guys, I don't know, was this video where Amazon, before you buy, you go check the reviews. The reason why you're checking your reviews, you're trying to build trust. And once you build enough trust, borrowed trust, you're able to go purchase. The same thing. I might come to your page and be like, oh my goodness, I love their content. I love what they're talking about. So like, let me go check out what else is out there. Yeah, they'll go check your name, and all your stuff is gonna pop up. If they see a YouTube video, they're gonna click the YouTube video. Yeah, they're gonna go listen to you. Hopefully, you have enough content. And that's the reason why I'm big on podcasts. I'm big on YouTube, because you can create long form content. I'm big on live. Like right now, I'm live. I'm big on this because it's zero effort. The moment you click record, that's it. When you're done, that product is on YouTube. I don't have to think about editing and all that stuff. And it's long form. And people are able to sit down and be able to like listen and see your frameworks and see your processes, see how the way you think. Hopefully you can communicate trust, and people can trust you with the investments. They can trust you with their businesses. They can trust you with, based on the information that they are receiving. And based on reviews, they can be like, okay, I trust this guy to kind of like help me come out from point A to point Z. And that's why the trusting factor is important. So that's level number 3. So we get to level number 4. They know they have a problem. They know that there's a solution. And they know that you're the guy to solve that problem. At that point, they are ready with their credit card to swipe and make a sale. Most people stop here. Most people stop here once they get a sale. Of course, they're going to deliver their services. If it's a digital product, people stop there. What I teach is that you need a review system. And I will be showing you how this system is amazing, because it's able to collect reviews on automation. Because I want to collect reviews. I want to make sure that I give you the best experience ever. And this is where you should put all your focus on. You'd rather not have a lot of clients, but the ones that you have, you give them an amazing experience, because they are the people who are going to go advocate for you. And even better, if you can incentivize them and tell them like, hey, if you bring more customers, I will pay you 30% commission rates. I'll pay you 40% commission rate. As a matter of fact, I will create a funnel for you and give you a special link so that you can go promote this and promote my program. If you do not want to create a program from scratch, this 6-week course can be your new business, because that is how I have structured it. If you do not want to start a business from scratch and you just want to understand how everything works, I will hand deliver to you a fully made business. All you have to do is just create the landing page on the front end, and on the back end, you are getting your 30% commission rates, all by just pushing all things marketing. And so I'll be teaching marketing. So that's the beauty of this. And you can structure your business like this. It's a very sustainable approach. It's very new. I've not had a lot of people talk about this. And so I wanted to jump on it as quick as possible, implement it. It doesn't need a lot of like landing pages, because as you see here, I'm just creating this video, welcoming you into my community. The community is already there. I use school. And then the course the cohort, I've not created it. I'm going to be creating in it with the people who are going to be joining the program. So I'm not having to record videos and uploading them and now going to look for traffic and bringing the traffic into the cohort. No, the only thing that I need to do is to prepare for one lesson at a time. That's it. And then I show up, I tell them this is what we're going to work on. If you have questions and you feel stuck, you tell me. We are building live together. I will teach a little bit, just kind of give you the fundamentals and the mindset, give you all the tools that you need to build. I will build together. You'll watch me build. You'll watch me click this button and that button, and I'll be telling you why I'm doing this and that and that and that. And you follow along. Can you join live? Yes. If you're not able to join live, you can come rewatch the video. And then you have a day break to finish that so that when you meet on Wednesday, we are working on the next thing and on the next thing and on the next thing. And in 6 weeks' time, you have a complete system. You've already also learned the marketing behind it. You know how to create content. You know how to do copywriting and the psychology behind it. You have all the tools, all the GPTs, everything that I have that I use for my businesses and my clients. I'll give them to you. The beauty about it is if you decide that you want to start doing this and start helping other local businesses, you have a new skill. And marketing, there are many skills that you need as a business owner. But the one skill that will never be replaced by anything, even with AI, is the ability to be able to market your own products and services. No business owner who is struggling with marketing will say no to marketing. Even a successful business, if I can come and tell you, like, I can bring more leads and make more money or save you time, nobody's going to say no. It's one of the skills that every business owner should at least know. And this I learned working, for a 7-figure company owner. She taught me this, and she was like, as a CEO, as a business owner, you need to know marketing. Even if you hire somebody, you personally as a CEO, you need to be at the front of marketing, because that is what brings traffic to your business. That's what brings customers to your business. And a big part that I learned, oh my God, I am so grateful for, honestly, my pastors, Dr. Faith and Pastor Soso, like, eternally grateful. If you knew me like a few years ago, you'll be like, I couldn't even speak to people. I wouldn't even stand in front of people and talk. I wouldn't even, my goodness. If you guys are watching this, thank you so much. I thought I came there to learn marketing, but what I got was way more than that. They call her the identity doctor. I really worked on my identity. Like, I know who I am. I'm not afraid of people. I used to be so afraid of people. And that is what is stopping a lot of us. Just coming in front of a camera like you're scared. And again, you'll be fearful. Like when I started this live stream, I got nervous because, and it's funny, I've always gone live on YouTube, but this time I'm going live on Facebook too. And for some reason, I had that thought in my head, like, I'm on live on Facebook too. And for some reason, I couldn't get words out of my mouth. And I had to cancel that live and be like, wait, what's going on here? It's okay. And sometimes you have to give a pep talk to yourself. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself. Sometimes you have to do it scared, but you have to do it. But the one thing that will help you do that is first knowing your identity in Christ. Is bringing your healed version. Your healed version. If you are struggling with unforgiveness, if you're struggling with trauma, and it's, I promise you, and you can go watch my latest YouTube video. It has blown my mind, because I think in like 3 days, I got over 400 subscribers. And I realized it's a big thing, like especially for entrepreneurs, especially if you're moving from 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship and you've not done inner healing, my friend, please, that thing is going to show up. It's going to show up every time you're trying to show up for your business. It's gonna show up in your pricing. It's going to show up the way you talk to your customers. Because, people can sense that you're not sure about what you're talking about, not because you don't know your stuff, but because your unhealed places are showing up and they're telling you, oh, you do not deserve this. Oh, you will not be able to deliver exceptional services. Oh, you do not deserve the amount of money that you're charging. All these voices are in your mind, and you need to put them out. Like completely put them out. And build the identity that Christ has given you, and stand on that, and know that everything else that is speaking that is contrary to the word of God is a lie. Anyway, I've gone on preaching mode, but it's so important. Please do not ignore that part. And we'll be talking about some mindset stuff, because I think it's important. But since it's not like a therapy session, like if you need to do therapy as you're doing this, please do, because it's going to show up and it's going to hinder you from being successful in this. I would actually even encourage you not even to sign up for this program if you know that you're not actively pursuing healing, because the reason why I'm saying that is because you're not going to see the fruits that this program is going to hopefully give you. Because there's no point of learning all these things and then you're stuck and you can create content because you're afraid of what people will say. This whole system requires you to show up, and you don't have to show up in video format. You can show up in a blog format, but video is one of the most effective way. So you surely have to show up. So I'm also like disqualifying you if you've not done inner healing, if you're not actively pursuing inner healing, because you're not going to be able to execute. You're not going to be able to start this business. And I know a lot of people who are in their 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is good, but it makes you hide. Entrepreneurship exposes you. If you are bad with money, it's going to expose you even more. And I've seen it even in my own business. If you're not disciplined, if you do not have system in place, if you're not disciplined with your time, because most of people want to leave their 9 to 5 so that they can have the freedom of time and money. That's amazing. But when you come into entrepreneurship, if you want to experience that freedom, you have to be very disciplined with your time. And that's why you work with like high achievers, and they're like, if you come in late, they get so upset. Or they'll be like, okay, you just ate 20 minutes of your time. At around 2 o'clock, I have another appointment. And it could be like they're not physically like seeing someone, but they have something else that they have planned to do that is in alignment with their vision and their goals. So they're not going to extend more time for you because you came late. And so it's understanding and coming and being very disciplined. Am I there yet? No. But I know to be successful, these are some of the character traits that you need to like just protecting your time, protecting your mind, protecting your space. And so I was talking about this, the old way of doing the funnels. So that's the old way. The new way, and I know this looks a little bit complicated, but I'll be explaining it in detail. The new way is and again, going to empathy-driven marketing. we are starting with a painful problem. And since I come from the medical background, I understand like when you go to a doctor, they don't just give you medicine. I would be so upset if I came to you and you're my doctor, and even before I open my mouth, I'm like, hey, buy this, take this medication. That's bad marketing. When you're about to introduce something, you don't go create something or create a drug there and then like, hey, who's gonna buy this drug? They're like, your audience don't even know what that drug solves. And I want you to start thinking like that, yeah? You wanna create an experience where you're like, okay, let me first figure out whatever skills that I have, is there a painful problem that I can use? And it's not just skills. I want it to be a combination of also something that you love. Because what I've realized with entrepreneurship, you experience this deep. There is this optimism. You're optimistic, and all the time there's always a dip. When you get to learn a little bit more information about what you're about to get into, and there's always this dip, and you're like, this is too hard. And so most of the time, if you're not passionate about what you are doing, you will go back up and then you'll start again. And then you'll go look for something else that is more shiny, the shiny syndrome, yeah? You go start doing that. You get more information, and then you'll be like, oh my God, this is what I need to be able to accomplish. And so you will constantly be moving from one idea to another idea, and you'll never execute even one. And that's why I'm like, you wanna be something that you're at least good at, something that you love that will make you even become better at it. Also something that you can be paid for, because there's no point of, learning a skill that you love and you don't understand how you can get paid for it. And you don't have to be already making money out of it. It's better if you've already made money, because that's proof of concept. But it's even better if you know that there's some people who are doing the same thing, because you can now go and reverse engineer and see the things that you need to learn, the skills that you need to learn, and some of the methodology and the systems and what they're using. Yeah, and it's so easy now with AI to reverse engineer anything, and I'll be teaching that in the cohort. Yeah, so trying to think where I was going with this. That's the first part. Yeah, you want to understand their pain point. You want to understand, how can I use my skills with something that I love? Because again, going that deep, if you love something, you will withstand and go and come out on the other side. But this is very painful. This you'll be tested. I put a post the other day and I was talking about the 3 parts that Jesus, God, did not allow the children of Israel to take the easy route, because he was like, they call it the Philistine way, because he was like, he was afraid that they were going to see war and they're going to change their mind and go back. And that's the thing with short routes. If you want quick money, if you want to do something with zero effort, that's most of the time those end up to a dead end. Very few people are able to penetrate through that, yeah? And so you want something you love, something that you're passionate about, something that you're skilled on, and a painful problem that you can solve, yeah? So that's the content that you're going to create. So on the front end, my recommendation is the ebooks that you're creating to sell. Create very super niched ebooks that solve a very painful problem for a very specific person, and give those for free in exchange for an email. Do assessments. Create an assessment, and we'll be talking about that and how to use AI to create assessments. Create an assessment, and that can be your lead magnet. Create a quiz, a pre-qualifying quiz, and that can be your lead magnet. And when they take that quiz, it gives them a report, a customized report that tells them like, hey, this is what's going on. These are the gaps. This is my recommendation. So depending on where they are, you can recommend somebody to your social media platform so that they can consume content there to build trust, so that they can be able to afford your other products. And so inside your quiz or your assessment, maybe you're asking them, how much are you willing to invest? 0 to 1,000. So if your products cost from 1,000 to 2,000, and somebody says they are in the range of 0 to 1,000, you guide them to either free community, a low ticket product, because you're not trying to push everyone through your funnel. You are making recommendations. And I love this approach of marketing because you are meeting and serving your customers based on where they are. If somebody says they're willing to invest 1,000 to 3,000, you bring them to a cohort like this. They're like, hey, I'm running a cohort, a 6-week cohort. You can join. Again, they have told you they have the money and the resources to be able to invest in a valuable program that you are sharing. So that's the first phase, yeah? How do you do that? You create one piece of content, and I'll show you here. You create one piece of content, yeah? So again, it looks overwhelming, but I'll explain to you. They call it the content waterfall, but I have a twist to it. I learned this framework in a masterclass that I took a few weeks ago, and it got me excited. And this will make content creation so easy, guys, yeah? So this is how it works, yeah? You remember the painful problem? That's what we're going to create content on, yeah? So I'm gonna create content right now, as you're looking at this, you are learning the process. I am showing you the process. I want you to see where you are in the funnel, yeah? I'm creating desire. I am showing you what we will work on, but there's still a gap in information, yeah? You can actually take this and go, if you know how to use the system, you can actually take this and go and actually do it, yeah? But a majority of my customers want to be guided. A majority of people who join cohorts, they want to do it with other people because they know they're not disciplined enough to do it by themselves, yeah? So don't be afraid to share your frameworks. It just builds more trust, yeah? If I can create this content and it actually helps you, even without buying anything from me, I've already built trust with you. And at some point, we're going to meet somewhere, and you're either going to recommend me to someone or you're going to work with me. And that is how you build a very powerful brand, yeah? So let's go back, yeah? So process. So the painful problems, I create those content on my social media. If you go on Instagram, and I hope I can show you guys the back end, yeah? Maybe just like blur like people's names. I get a lot of DMs. You know, some of the content that you will create out there, especially if you have a very small audience, people are gonna come into your DM and not in your comments. And I don't want you to get discouraged. Keep creating the content. At some point, your goal is not views. Again, if you want views and going viral, that's fine. My goal is not that. My goal is to create transformational content. I want you to read my content or consume my content, and I actually shatter a belief system that has been holding you or keeping you stuck. I want to shatter it because if I destroy that belief system and I give you a new belief system, there's a chance that you start believing in yourself that you can actually do this. There's a chance that you will see my products and my services as a solution to your problem. But as long as that limited belief system, as long as that mindset is still there, it doesn't matter how much marketing and how many ads I throw at my products, you're not going to buy. And so I do that on my Instagram. And the best way to do that is through carousels. And I'll be showing you how to do all that, yeah? Again, you want them to go viral because more people will be able to see that. But you're not optimizing it for virality. You're optimizing it for conversion. And those are two different things. And if you focus for virality, if your post doesn't do well, you stop doing that and you go copying other people's strategies. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if your content is converting and it's not getting likes, I'm cool. If I'm constantly making sales, I'm cool with that. You know, so that mind shift change of like virality to conversion, creating content, yeah? Okay, that I do on Instagram, yeah? And sometimes I'll create like long videos that I'm able to create content, and I'll show you in a minute, yeah? So you create, all you have to focus on, and my biggest social media platform that I like is YouTube. YouTube is one of the most underrated channels that you can have, because one of the things about YouTube is that you create one piece of content, it will continue marketing itself to people. And so if you can do some serious research, create a good framework on how you can do YouTube. And the good thing with YouTube now, you can do podcasts on YouTube. You can go live on YouTube. You can host a guest on YouTube. Right now I'm using Riverside, which I can actually, if I'd planned it ahead of time, I would have actually invited you into the live stream here. And I'll be showing you even all the softwares that I use, the platform. I have a big light here. That's why like you can be able to see me. I have an audio. Where is it? Oh my gosh. I hope you guys can hear me. Oh, it's here. Sorry, it's here. Let me show you. It's here recording. Yes. Oh, that scared me. Yeah. Yes, mate.
It's getting too cold. We have to go.
Okay. Almost done. That's my sign. It's like, yeah, we're getting done with this video. Yeah. Let's see how many minutes we are. We at 46. Yeah. So make one piece of content, one long form YouTube video. If you can make it to an hour, amazing. Okay. Then we're going to take that YouTube video and we're going to focus on some of the channels where you believe most of your customers are. I used to post a lot of Instagram and just realized that most of my customers are on Facebook because I attract mompreneurs, a lot. Yeah, that's most of my clients. I don't go after them. I just that those are the people who I work with the most. Yeah, mompreneurs. And the reason why they come is they're tech savvy, but not too technical. Yeah, and so before I used to do everything for them. And so that's why I'm loving this model where I can do it with them. Yeah. And they can bring an assistant to kind of help them with this process if they want. Yeah. So you can actually buy the cohort and have your assistant come and take the classes. Yeah. Or an intern that you want to be helping you with your company. So that is available. Yeah. So you create one long piece of content. And then you create, you wait for 1 week. So you want to be creating content, the content that you create and post like on a Friday, you're going to wait for 1 week. Yeah, so that you can get data from it. One of the most important data that I'm looking for on the back end, you'll be able to see spikes on the video. Okay, wherever there's a spike, just know it was a section that people went back to listen again. You want to click those places because those are like really good places that people are really interested in the concept that you're teaching. You want to post all of that, yeah? Let's say you get like 2 or 3 in a 1 hour video, yeah? All right. And again, I'll be teaching how to create desire. I'll be teaching you how to start with a strong hook, how to package your YouTube, because it doesn't matter what you say in the middle. It matters, but not really. Okay, it matters. Let me say this. It actually matters because you want to maintain the attention throughout the video, yeah? And that's why you'll hear people tell you like, hey, wait till the end, I have a freebie or whatever, yeah? But the most important thing is the packaging. Your thumbnail, the title, the words on your thumbnail, and the title, and the first 3 seconds. That really matters the most, yeah? So you want to nail that, and then now come and teach, yeah? Once you get better, you'll start realizing like how you can use words, how you can create desire, creating open loops, and stuff like that, yeah? And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And that is that if you realize that that's an open loop, when I tell you like we'll talk about that later, is that I've opened something that you will stay until the end so that I can close it. That's how you open loops and closing. I'm not trying to do that. I've been doing this for a while, that it just comes out naturally. My goal is I just want to finish this as quickly as I can, yeah? Then create one piece of content. Then you have your reels, your carousels. And so instead of repurposing every piece of content, what I do is I get the script from YouTube, I put it on ChatGPT, And so there's specific frameworks that I use for doing carousels, for my LinkedIn post, for your posts, for your stories. So you have GPTs for each and every the way you usually just deliver your content, or the way that you feel like your content is consumed better by your audience. So we can paste in all this script and it spits out new, kind of same information, but almost like fresh and different. Yeah. And then using the all-in-one marketing platform, that will be showing you're able to schedule everything. So you have a whole week worth of content, or even 2 weeks worth of content. And all this content, guess what? Yes.
Sounds on a cracker.
Oh.
It's too high.
It's too high. All right, 1 second, guys. Just hold on. Let me take care of my son.
Oh no. Just like,
All right. These biscuits? Is this what you're asking for?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Okay.
You feel better not put the cracker.
Yeah. All right. So that's how the waterfall works. So you're not just repurposing and chopping out pieces of content and posting the same content everywhere. No, some are like blog style, some are like tweets, some are like, series. You can build an email list from that. So you're repurposing your long form content. So all you have to focus on is one piece of content. And most of the traffic, you want to take it back to your YouTube channel so that you can get more views. Inside your YouTube channel, inside it, you're going to run your own ads. You're going to create 2 pieces of content. And on a specific, it might be on the 2-minute mark, you're going to introduce your community and tell people like, hey, join if you want more information like this, if you want somebody to hold you, if you want to be in a community of other like-minded people, join my community. Here's the link, and you put it on the description. Tell them to subscribe, remind them again later, yeah? Right now I'm doing a live, so I'll take this live, I'll actually be able to edit it and put those videos in between, and then post it on YouTube again, yeah? So to be on the live, but it also be on the feed, yeah? So that's what you do. So hopefully you bring them, so that is what is here, yeah? You run your own ads here, yeah? You put an ad here and another ad here, yeah? Then hopefully you drive this traffic to your community. I use school, but you can use whatever community that you want to build on, yeah? And all this traffic, these Reels posts, they're all coming back to the YouTube video, okay? So that's how you build your ecosystem. Then that YouTube video, you run your own ads, your call to action, you bring them into the community, okay? Inside the community, you can have it for free or you can have it paid. I recommend start for free so that there's no barrier to entry. Then after you've collected a few testimonials, after you've done a few of the cohorts, you can start charging the community and incentivize the people who are in the community by giving them affiliate commission so that they stay. Nobody's going to leave if they know that they're leaving money on the table. And if they can make enough money to offset the amount of money that they're paying in the community, they're going to stay. So it's a really good incentive, yeah, to keep the lifetime, to prolong the lifetime value of your customer. I think they call it LTV. All right, then we come to the course. Here are the cohorts. This is your engine. This is your mid-high ticket offer. This is where you're building with them. You're building with them. You want to do at least 4-6 weeks maximum, yeah? And you run a whole cohort. By the end of that cohort, you have taught them, you have moved them from point A to point Z, and they have helped you refine your program because you're giving you feedback live. So we are building like, hey, can you show what you just did? Why did you do that? It's like, oh, you do that, okay? So guess what? You put a mental note. The next time that you're doing the same cohort, you have some notes where you'll explain a little bit better. That way they don't stop you. But then they're going to tell you something else. You're going to meet different people in different places, and you'll be able to know how your course can be tailor-made to serve multiple people at the same time. Yeah. So your first few cohorts are you're just learning and getting reviews and getting testimonials. So guess where all the testimonials are going? They're going into the community. Guess what? Where some case studies are going? They're going to YouTube, which brings them to the community. These guys in the community, they're seeing what the people who committed and did the 6-week cohort and where they are and the content that they're creating. So guess what they do? They want to join the next cohort. And since it's a cohort, I always love this analogy where you always want to put somebody in the middle. So I want you to imagine that you have a mice, you have a cat that is chasing the mice, and then you have some cheese. So you want to put your customers and make them be the mice. Give them something, a reward system. Yeah. So for this, in 6 weeks' time, they will have their own whole automated system for their business. They'll have their own funnel. They will know what they are selling. They will even be making money along the way if they invite people. So they're excited. But on top of that, tell them that they need to come up with something big that they can celebrate for having accomplished this. So there's something that they're looking forward to. It could be like a trip to Florida or buying their favorite pass. It has to be something that they can look forward to. Yeah. On the back end, you want to tell them like you're going to put 200 down that is fully refundable. I learned this from my sister. So thank you, Jambi. That is fully refundable. But they have to finish the course. They have to do the homework. On this day, they can get that 200 that can go towards the thing that they want to do as a form of celebration. So they don't want to lose money, but also this is very attractive. So you structure it like that, yeah? There's also rewards. If I invite people, I can make money, I'm also excited because I'm learning now a new skill that I can use in my business, but also help other business owners. It becomes a very beautiful like ecosystem, yeah? So after you've done this, might be like 3 or 4, 5 times, then you can do either two things. The people that took these cohorts, you can now train them to run the cohorts themselves. And instead of doing one, every 6 weeks you're doing a cohort, you can have multiple cohorts running at the same time. You can have cohorts running every week, being run by different people inside your community, and they're using your frameworks because they've learned how to do them. Then guess what? There are people who will come in the community and be like, I have the money for to attend the cohort, but I don't have the time for that. Are there people that we can hire to come do this for us? Guess what? You have a huge community of people that you have been training. You can put those assignments there and people can do them. It becomes so beautiful. And I can think of like a way that us as a body of Christ, that we can start winning and start, just being successful in the business world. We are very committed, we are very loyal, and most of us are, not all of us, but most of us are, just comfortable in our 9 to 5s. Or we know that we want to transition, but we are super scared, but we don't even know where to start. And I think I can't promise you millions because I've not made any millions. I have seen them. I've seen them working with some of my clients. So I can't promise you that. But I can promise you the mindset that you need, the skills that you need to be able to transition, because that's something that I've been able to do. Is it easy? No, it's not. But I think what I'm going to show you is going to make it easier for you because you haven't left your 9 to 5 yet, And if you've left your 9 to 5, this is going to be just a place where you can be like, oh, okay, I'm not doing this by myself, because business is hard, I won't lie. And I can't guarantee anything. Even after showing you all these things, I can't guarantee you that you're going to make the money that you desire to make. But I can promise you that the odds of making money are high, because this is what I do. This is what I do for clients. This is what I do for a living. And if there's a part of you that is like, I think I really like this and I've not had this before, then it's worth a shot. So the 6-week cohort is 1,500. I'm only taking 20 students. We're starting Feb 1st. So it doesn't matter if we are 2 or 3, I am starting Feb 1st. But that's the money we're going to start with. And the skills they're going to learn from it. And the next cohort is not going to be 1,500 because it will be better. I would have learned so many things that I would have made many mistakes and learned so many things that it can't be 1,500 anymore. So, and the community is not going to be free at that point. Because guess what? We have testimonials. We have validated this idea. So this is beautiful. Like, you can do this for your own business. And this is a system that I will start even teaching other people to implement it in their own business, but also implement it on other people's businesses. I think it's amazing. I hope you see this and be like, oh, that is so cool. People hide this. I'm not hiding it. You can take this and go implement it yourself. Or you can join the community and we can do it together. So, it's a call. I think I have, the last time I checked, I think I have maybe four people who have committed to this. So there's 16 more slots left. Take advantage. And I will see you on Feb 1st. So take care. Let me end this. It's been an hour. Oh my gosh, we've talked for an hour. But I hope this excites you guys. And bye.